Hello, gorgeous heartbeat, and welcome to Heartbeats Harbor. I'm your host, Brianna Hosack, and I'm here to shine the light on the shadow path we walk as heartbeat women. Women rising into leadership roles as lightworkers, changemakers, world shakers, or as I call us, heartbeats, do not have an easy path to walk. It often feels lonely, painful, and unique, but I'm here to help you see how very not alone you are, and how beautiful the shadows surrounding you actually are when you love and integrate them on your healing journey. I create spaces and opportunities for women to step into deeper self-awareness, self-acceptance, and personal healing, community and sacred circles, as well as leadership of themselves, their families, their communities, and beyond. My business and my life is and always will be about massive change in the ways things are done around the world. I believe it's a big part of my purpose on this planet to be a voice for those who don't have one, a safe harbor for those who need one, and a beacon of light to inspire a better way. None of this is easy. I've learned that big impact requires bold action and delusional levels of confidence, as well as a ton of shadow work. If you love what you hear on this podcast and you want to be part of the growing, supportive online village of Heartbeats Harbor, make sure you join my Facebook group, which is linked below in the show notes. Now, I can't wait to get started, so let's turn on the lights.
Hey, heartbeats. I am back with another off the cuff episode today. I want to talk about the wild feminine, who she is, what she stands for, what I mean when I say wild feminine, all of that. So, and the reason I want to talk about that is because it's something that I think that all women should aim for, is this renewal and this reconnection with their wild feminine side. And also, I have a couple of different opportunities for women that they can explore their wild feminine side within different containers that I'm running. So there's a lot to this, and one of the first things I want to say about it is that the wild feminine is different for every single one of us. So there's no right or wrong. There's no it has to look this way kind of a thing. This is When I say wild feminine, you can replace that with whatever feels most aligned for you. That could be divine feminine, that could be sacred feminine, that could be natural or healthy feminine. And all this is talking about is this balanced, unwounded feminine aspect. So not the toxic or, mistreated and therefore defensive feminine, none of that. And again, it looks different for everyone. And when I say the word wild, I think sometimes it gives the wrong impression, because wild, the reason I'm having these thoughts is because I had my first call with my Wild Feminine Leaders Inner Circle Mastermind ladies yesterday. And we were talking about this, and the concept of wild in and of itself was one of the things that we discussed, that wild doesn't have to mean feral and fierce and intense and crazy and, all of these kinds of things. It can also mean that more natural aspect. And we were specifically doing, I did a wild feminine activation, and the one that had channeled through for me prior to the call was this calm. It was a silent and still activation within, while our bodies were moving. So it was just really highlighting that wild can mean still and silent, that wild can mean calm and relaxed and all of that. So yes, in the wild, wild animals have to fight for their lives sometimes. They have to kill to eat, or they have to forage and move around and fight to protect themselves, fight to, whatever, even like winning a mate sometimes, right? You see that in the wild. But you also see this calm stillness and total acceptance. And you also can find those moments of silence where, if you are outside at night watching the stars, looking at the stars, it is just silent and it is peaceful. And that is also wild. And there's just so many aspects to what wild means or can mean. And the first focus for us for this year in 2025 in the Wild Feminine Leaders Inner Circle is in this permission for it to look however it looks for us, and for it to be weird or strange or different than we expect, and to do that without judgment, to accept it fully. My personal definition of the wild feminine or a wild woman is an uninhibited woman, a fully embodied and fully expressed, fully self-expressed woman. And so it's really, in order to be uninhibited, in order to be fully expressed, we need to learn to accept ourselves, and we need to learn to release the judgments of others. And so I just think I personally find this conversation to be fascinating. So I wanted to bring it here, and just sort of discuss, like, what can you do that can help you to reconnect with and find your wild feminine side, and sort of learn how to access her, and learn how to interact with her, and learn how to hear, see, feel, know things from her. And that is something that is a little difficult because there's not this set of guidelines that you can follow. And there's not a step 1, 2, 3, because it's different for everybody. And so it's really a matter of, first of all, getting really, really tuned into yourself and what that means for you. And there are many ways of doing that. There's so many different types of meditation, so many different types of activations, different types of journeys that you can go on, all kinds of things where you can meet and rediscover your wild feminine side. And I even have a few of them. I've got like a free access your wild feminine intuition meditation, guided meditation that anyone can sign up for. And I will drop that in the comments or in the description box. And I've got, there's several different things that I offer for women to help them to access that. And it is really, again, the experience that you have within any of those types of things, whether it's from me or whether it's from somebody else, the experience that you have is going to be unique to you. And the feelings that you feel, and the things that you hear, and the things that you see, and the things that you just know deep, deep, deep within yourself, when you really get tuned into that intuition, that wild feminine side of yourself, they're going to be different than they are for anyone else. So I can't tell you what that will look like. But why do you want to know, right? Why do you need to find this out? What's so important about it? And to me, it's like the absolute ultimate goal. And that's because returning to our wild feminine and our natural state is this process of releasing things that are not our own, of releasing the conditioning that we've had put on us for our entire lives, and for many of us for multiple lifetimes. And when we release all of that, we get to be who we truly are meant to be. We really get to discover what we care about and what matters to us and how we want to do it. And we get to really discover what you could call maybe your purpose or your passions, or the thing you came here to do, quote unquote, or whatever it is for you. But when you access that and you release all of that conditioning and you really come back into yourself, the feeling that you go through every day with is this pure just joy and happiness, and just this embodiment it's actually very difficult to explain other than those happy words, the joy, the bliss, the peace, the patience that you have, sort of all of it, life is so much better. And it can be scary when we start thinking about all of this, because it's like, well, like permission to be weird, permission to be strange and to stand out. We don't want to stand out, right? We're afraid of standing out. As a species, we're communal. We want to be in community. And so it's scary to think, well, if I stand out, I might get left alone. And the thing is that you won't. First of all, you will find your tribe. You'll find the people who are aligned for you, but it still doesn't make it less scary that the people who you love and know now may leave you, right? They may walk away and think she's too weird. She's gone crazy. She's, whatever. But like I said to my ladies in the mastermind yesterday, it's this peace that comes with it when you are standing in your power, when you're fully expressed. And all of a sudden, you'll find that it's okay and you're able to let them walk away. You're able to do that without being smashed to pieces like you thought you would. You'll still be upset. You'll still have a hard time. You'll still miss them, be sad, all of those things. None of that is wrong or bad, and they're natural and it's okay. But you will find eventually that you don't miss those people, that maybe if you think about them, you wish that they could have come along on this journey, that they could have stayed on the same path as you, but they have their own path to walk. And you become very accepting of this whole thing of just everyone has their own path to walk. And the people that we're aligned with, it's really beautiful. And the people that we're not, that's okay. And really not taking any of it personally, and really just loving everybody anyways. And it's just incredibly freeing. It is incredibly empowering, and it really does help you to find the right people. It helps you to find the people who are going to make it so that you're living your life every day to its fullest, so that you are living your life unapologetically and you are fully expressed in yourself and standing in your power, and you are embodying this wild side of yourself, this natural side of yourself. And again, you can replace that with divine feminine. You can replace that with the sacred feminine. You can call that whatever you want. And I'm specifically speaking to my ladies here, but I will say that even men have the divine feminine side of them, and women have the divine masculine side of them as well. We all have both sides within us. But personally, my path is to help people to find that wild feminine side of themselves and really tune into it. And when you do that, your life will be in this incredible flow that just, deep within your soul is right. And so you can feel really confident in the choices that you make, and you can feel really comfortable with, this is who I am, and this is what I'm meant to be doing, and I am doing the right thing. And so I don't need to apologize to anybody for that. And I'm doing it, even though I don't need to apologize, I'm doing it in a way that doesn't offend people. I'm doing it in a way that doesn't get their backs up, that doesn't make them feel defensive, because I'm aligned and I have this intuition flowing through me, and I'm doing it kindly, and I'm doing it with love, and I'm doing it peacefully, and all of these things. And it is a process. It's a learning process to really start allowing those things, and to release all of the limitations and the burdens and the expectations and all of that have been put on us our entire lives, and just become who we were really meant to be. It's not an overnight thing. It is not an easy thing, even, especially when you have been really, really conditioned in your life to people please, to follow a certain set of rules and standards that just aren't aligned for you, or live by someone else's values and morals and expectations versus your own. And to become more accepting of everyone in exactly the way that they are, and stop trying to change them to fit your expectations in the same way that you want other people to stop trying to change you to fit into their expectations. And it's just this, it is gradual, but it's a really beautiful process. And sometimes beautiful doesn't always mean easy, right? Sometimes it's really hard, but it's so worth it. And I really want to encourage all of my listeners to take time every single day to get really, really tuned in within yourself and hear what your wild feminine side has to say to you, and what she thinks, not what she thinks, what she knows is your next step, what she knows is your best, it is in your best and highest good. And when you start to do that and you actually take action on whatever that is, no matter how scary, no matter how unusual or weird, right? Again, that you may think that it will be, or that it will be perceived. If you actually take action on that, you get tuned in, listen, get the answer, take action. And if you do that, you will be on the right track every time, and you will be stepping more and more and more towards your, whatever you want to call it, your fate, your destiny, your purpose, your, like whatever, or even just to what's most aligned for you, if you don't believe in any of that. And that's, in each moment, if you take the time for that, you will have the most impact in the world. You will have the most fulfillment in your life. You will have the most joy and the most peace. And I really mean that when I say the most peace. The relationships that are hard for you right now will either get better or they will fall away, so that you can live in a peaceful state, so that you can live in a calm knowing of that where you are is exactly right for you. And yeah, it's a really powerful and incredible place to be. And it's something that I am actively working on every day. I have done a lot of work around this. And for the most part, I feel like I do a pretty good job of it, but it's not, I'm nowhere near perfect. And a lot of the time I can get caught up in the busyness of the day to day and forget to stop and slow down and get quiet and listen to hear. And, you could call that still small voice. You could call that the voice of spirit. You could call that, the Holy Spirit speaking to you. You can call it whatever you want to call it. But being able to hear that guidance is so incredible and is so powerful. And when you really, stop letting that be outside of yourself and saying like it's someone else giving you the guidance, and you realize that that's a part of yourself that's giving you the guidance, that you have that wisdom, that you're allowing your innate gifts to come forward, you're allowing your wisdom and intuition and knowledge, hidden knowledge that's in your DNA, knowledge that is in your soul, to come out and really guide and lead your life, so that you can be a leader, so that you can show up and really be truly embodied and be true to yourself, and then also lead your family and lead your communities and lead in the world. And that is the maneuvering of the shadow path, right? That is the daily alignment within those shadows, within that duality of life. And taking the time for that will never put you behind schedule for what's really aligned for you. It might put you behind schedule for things that you've piled on your plate that aren't really aligned, but it will not put you behind schedule for where you're meant to be, for what you could be bringing to this world, and for what is inspired within you. So, and then when you follow that inspiration, that bliss, that joy, that alignment, you will get to live that embodied, fulfilled life. You will get to have that wild success and the wild wealth and all of those things that you want so badly, because you absolutely deserve them and are worthy of them. So that is, that's what I wanted to share with you today. That's why you should start to discover your wild feminine side. That's why you should follow your intuition. That is how you can do it. And I mean, there's so many methods for how you can do it, but it is so important. And I really, truly believe that when women especially start tuning into this wild feminine side of themselves and really trusting their intuition there, and really trusting that they're unique and their strange things that they are inspired to do and the weird things that stand out to people, when they start really trusting that and following that, the change in the world will be enormous. And I believe that with my full body, mind, and soul. And so that's why I'm so passionate about it. That's why I'm so passionate about helping other women to also access that. And that is why I'm so dedicated to showing up and doing this podcast. That's why I'm so dedicated to showing up and being in my online spaces. That's why I'm so dedicated to helping women, um, discover their passion and heart-led based businesses and implement that and build their foundations and grow them and scale them and all of that, because I believe that women have much bigger roles to play in this world than we've been playing for the last few centuries. And so that is how and why I am empowering women to do that as much as I possibly can. That's why I'm bringing all of my business knowledge to the table for so much less than so many business coaches, because I think that women just need that access, though, that women really need to have the ability to explore and find what it is that they're here and meant to do, because we have big changes to make in the world. So that is so, so important. I believe not just for myself, but for every woman and for every person, really. But I say for every woman, because I truly believe that when women step into this power, when women step into this alignment, and then they come together in sisterhood and community, that's how we change the world. That is what it will take, pardon me, to heal the global village, to bring the global village back together, and to bring the community mind back to the collective, so that we can all experience a very different world than we're experiencing right now. So I hope that something that I've said today resonates with you. I hope that something that I've said today inspires you. If you want to go give that wild meditation a try, go find it down in the show notes. And check out my website if you want to explore some of the other wild feminine options that I have available. And I will talk to you all next week.
Thank you so much for being here with me today. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you subscribe to be notified of new episodes. If you really love it here and want to help spread the light, please take a moment to rate the show and leave a review. They help so much. If you love listening and want to be part of the interactive and incredible online community we're growing, make sure you click the link in the description box and join the Facebook group. I promise you it is not like other groups you've been in. Hope to meet you there soon, and I'll be talking to you next week, sending you all my love from my heartbeat to yours.